Albuquerque. That's right, folks. Albuquerque, the Hangover Edition. Thanks for joining me, and some of you will be capturing this live. Others, not so much. You'll be watching this later today or whenever you get to it. And while I wait for a few people to hop online, the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and pose that famous question of, or just throw out a question for y'all to deliberate over, and that is, well, maybe I'll just make a statement. The Scorpions album Blackout is the best Scorpions album of all time. Okay, there, I've said it. And now, without further ado, we will have a mid-Monday morning live review of the Albuquerque Coin Show. There's a reason that I'm here Monday in Albuquerque. The show was Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And let's just talk about the show itself and how it went and how it is. Hey, George, thanks for coming down. I will be responding to people as they speak. As it pops up, if it's short enough, I may respond. Eric, thanks for joining us. In just a minute here, we'll start talking about Donald. Thanks for joining us. Good to see you. I'm here in Albuquerque and not too far from you. Mark, Drade, Bruce, hey. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. All right. So I'm in Albuquerque still. Let's talk about the Albuquerque Coin Club Coin Show. The Coin Club happens twice a year. Thanks for joining us, Mr. T and Miss Ears Kitty and Doug. Hey, Doug. I think I may have just seen you, maybe. So the Albuquerque Coin Club does a coin show twice a year in the fall and in the spring. And I've got to say that Albuquerque has like a really nice coin community. It has the coin club and the coin dealers to match. The local coin dealers that I've spoken to here are just really, really good folks. And the show is run really well. It was very well attended. I don't know what their total attendance was, so they basically are a 2.5-day show. Well, kind of almost like a 2-day show, because the Friday they're open from 12:30 to 5:30. Saturday, I think it's open 9:30 to 5:30, and Sunday 9:30 to 2 or something like that, right? So they have, it's roughly 2.5-day show. So, all right, guys, it's a great show to get to if you ever get a chance to get there. There's just a nice mix of dealers. There's probably 40 dealers in there. And there's guys from, I saw everything from paper money and currency, which is the same thing. There's a reason I'm still in Albuquerque. I'll get to that in a bit. And you have very, very good world and ancient dealers. You have some bulk dealers. Annex was there taking submissions. And some people were playing some really bad music, but that's, it wasn't me. So if you want to go to a show where you can also find such things as really high-end type coins, Amy's Coins and Chick McCormick, both of them have really nice type coins. I think Amy's Coins is going to be coming to the Tucson show in January. We'll see. In fact, I think a number of the Albuquerque dealers, and I think I'm going to draw a lot more people. For those of you who don't know, we have a show in January in Tucson, and we had about 40 dealers, but I think we're going to get about 60 this year. I think we're going to draw a lot more from Colorado and New Mexico, so it's pretty exciting. I'm pretty excited for it. So the show overall was very active. So on Friday we were steady the entire time that we were open. I think it didn't slow down until probably about 4 o'clock, and it was just kind of all day. And the people there all day Friday were all buyers too. It wasn't just looky-loos. Saturday. I'll get to Saturday in a second. The Tucson dates for 2025 are the 17th and 18th. It's the third weekend of Friday and Saturday. And I think we'll have room rates at about $119 for the Estrella Tower, and I think $159 for the bigger tower. So let me see. All right, so people are commenting on my problems in Albuquerque. We'll get there. That story's for after I review the show itself. I still think the show is fantastic, and I'm going to have to start some type of GoFundMe to get or a poll to get my wife to let me to go back to Albuquerque. So Friday was busy all day, and so we had people buying everything. I sold a little bit of everything. So I had everything from mint sets, like some of the older mint sets, the ones in the envelopes, to world coins, ancients. I saw new collectors. I was very excited. I saw a number of new collectors in there that I give out cards to, and I tell them about the channel and tell them if they want to learn more about coin collecting, they can watch. So there was quite a handful of those, which was always fun. One of them, a father and some kids, and the father bought an ancient coin for his son, and we just talked a little bit about how do you get into ancient coins and ancient coin collecting, and so that was pretty cool. And let's see, so World Ancient, I sold just about everything. Bullion, I didn't bring a lot of bullion. Ended up having a little bit of silver and gold with me. I intentionally sold gold, and the silver that I brought, I sold quite a bit of that as well. There were active buyers for both, but not as many. I mean, the gold is still a seller's market. We'll get into that in just a little bit. So Saturday was interesting because Saturday it wasn't quite as busy as Saturday as on Friday, but the report was that they had over 600 people between Friday and Saturday, which is a good showing. Saturday they also had a radio team come and do a live spot from there, and it was like an oldie station, and I might steal this idea from them. Depending on if I can get the right coverage in Tucson, there's some oldie stations that I think could be a good fit to do some promotions. So thanks everyone for joining. Keep on coming in. I'm gonna say that YouTube things right now. So if you don't like YouTube things, just cover your ears. Hit the like button. You're supposed to hit the like button. That's just a thing. I don't know. Supposedly it'll tell more people that we're here chatting. That's the idea, I guess. So, all right. So Saturday was not quite as busy. I think it felt like it slowed down a little bit around 2:30 or so, but it was pretty good because even after then, there was still you had a little bit of time to do some wholesale deals and buy some different things. So on Sunday, so Sunday's like 9:30 to 2. This show's run a little bit differently, but this was the big thing for me on Sunday. So Sunday mornings are usually pretty quiet on a show like this. That first hour is very quiet. The public doesn't show up right away. We did get a nice little burst around noon, from probably 11 to 1. But what was interesting was if you had to just stop and listen, and you could hear the room full of dealers, and they were all happy. I mean, it was like the sound of just like happy chatter of like, yeah, da, 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 like people who are getting along. I've been in plenty of bourses, or the floor room in a coin show where the show it was the last day, and last days are usually a little quiet, and it was like a morgue. Like people were just like morose and just sad and stuff. So, but this was not like that. And I think a part of that is the group of guys that are in the room, guys and gals that are in the room anyways. I think that really helps. I don't know if that makes sense or not. So, but I think that it really helps to have a lot of people who get along really well. I just think that's kind of a thing. Okay, so I'm hitting buttons over here on my computer. I may have blown up the internet. That wasn't good. All right, so the show itself was really good, and you could see and buy almost anything you want. I had some fun interactions with people who were looking at some pretty expensive coins. I will this week have videos for you on some new purchases. I haven't got to that yet because I'm still in Albuquerque, and some of you have already commented on that. So for those of you who don't know, last year I got broken into at the Albuquerque show, but it was because I parked my car like in the back alley, which is not really a smart thing to do. And then this year I broke down on my way into town, and so I'm waiting for my vehicle to get fixed. They've told me it will get fixed today, and hopefully it'll be with enough time for me to get home tonight. So, but anyways, I don't know if my wife's ever going to let me come back to Albuquerque again. But I love this show, and I've been here I think 3 or 4 consecutive years in the springtime, and I've had a good show every time. The club is pretty awesome. Now, clubs have different vibes. Now, first of all, if your local club doesn't have this club is like, I don't know if it's like the Three Stooges or meets ZZ Top. It's like hard to describe the Albuquerque Coin Club. I don't know if they're all former sailors, but like when they're breaking down, like there's this camaraderie of guys, and they cuss like sailors. It's very funny, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean like it's not what you think of when you think of a coin club. But they're super cool people. It's really fun, and they all help out at the show to make the show run, and they make the show run really well. So if ever you have a chance to hit the Albuquerque Coin Club shows, you can look them up online and find out when their shows are. It's worth going to. So let's see, what other market stories do I have from you from the show? Dealers are still looking for good inventory, which is a good sign for the marketplace. There seems to be very much so some resistance with gold at these levels from just about everyone who I know who's in the market. So there's the guys that are on YouTube or on Instagram that really promote gold because they think it's the end of the earth, and maybe they're just promoting themselves. Maybe they're not. Maybe they just really believe that the end of the world is coming. But for those of us who've been around a long time, we've seen it, at the end of the world. I'm not that old. I've seen the end of the world like 3 times at least, and I only have 2 kids. So, when you... I didn't lose any collectibles when I got broken into last year. It was that question was asked by someone there, George. No, I was okay. So what's interesting to see is like I know a number of dealers that have like their own personal stash of gold that they've collected over the years that they're selling. Not all of, but maybe portions. They're taking 5 ounces, 10 ounces. Depends on how much they have, of course. And selling off. Maybe it's just a couple ounces. But they see these prices, they're like, yeah, I'm going to sell some. The other thing that was interesting, I had a lot of people hit the same comment, which was, you know what? At this price, I don't want to buy any. Like, I just don't want to buy any. And it's interesting. We'll see where it leads to. But so with, like a St. Gaudens, so gold was at $23.90. I think it's like $23.40 today, but it was like $23.90 on the weekend. So, and so a St. Gaudens melted at like $23.12 or something like that. So I bought a nice slabbed Annex 1 MS64 in an old soapbox, which I really liked. But I bought it from a dealer for $2,300. I sold it to someone for $2,311. So maybe I won't be in business very long, but I had a good time buying and selling that coin. But the point of the story is this, that there was a lot of gold available, and the buyers there knew what they could buy gold at. And they knew that they could buy gold at very close to spot or just a little bit over spot. And this is very different than what it was during COVID. And this is also what we explained on the channel over the last couple of years was likely to happen. But so like if you think about how the market moves and with coins and gold and with gold, MS65 Saints were like $2,400, and now they melt at 23. A Saint melts at 23 with where gold was last weekend. There's no margin in there to even turn a nice Saint into a slabbed Saint. Do you know what I mean? Like there's this weird thing. If I can just share one more little bit of philosophy about the gold prices and collecting coins, it would probably be this. That the same advice that I had when gold was 300 and went to 600 and yada yada was for if you like gold coins, and I'm not talking about bullion, but if you like US gold coins, still to me the coins to buy are $5 Indians and $10 Indians. If you can find nice AU type coins that are close to melt, I think that's the way to go. Because what happens is you have the collector value, so when gold was 300 and the collector value is here and gold value is here, and then gold rises, and then it pushes up the entire value because the melt value is going up on this coin, so it has to rise up. Eventually, after gold stabilizes for a while, that collector value went back up. What did it go back up on? It went back up on 5 and 10 Indians. It didn't really go up on, so like your Saints and your 5 libs and 10 libs. Now, we did see all that stuff shoot up during COVID, but during COVID, there was a lot of stuff that shot up. I mean, everything shot up. 90% silver, which was always like the redheaded stepchild of bullion, people were paying $5, $6, $7, $8 an ounce over spot for. I mean, it was a really unusual time. To me, that was always a short-lived thing. Now, I don't predict metal prices, and I don't know what the metal prices are going to do. I don't know if 2300 is going to be a new level or if 2000 is going to be a new level. But I do think that for collectors in the marketplace in general, to start buying those coins again, gold will have to be at the same level for quite some time. That's just kind of how that process moves, with the up and down of the collector coin versus the bullion market. So, what was interesting? I have a coin. I don't have any coins out really to show, but I did grab one. And the one coin that I did grab was the coin that, intriguingly, I had more comments on this coin. Now, mind you, I have some coins on consignment. They're on our website. You guys have seen them. There's the real expensive, like early 18th century U.S. gold coins. I had a lot of people comment on those and look at them, right? But that's expected for something that's really a rare coin. But outside of that, the coin that I got the most comments about and questions on was this guy. And so this is a 3-ounce silver coin, and it's 3 dimensions. You can kind of see how it pops up there. From the Cook Islands, this is the 2022 version, and currently on our website. So the back has just like a flat dimension to it, but the front, has that 3rd dimension. It's really, really deeply struck, and also it just has a really cool look to it, right? So I had so many U.S. people, U.S. collectors, old collectors, new collectors, stop and look at this thing, and no one bought it. But still, it's on our website still, so you got a shot at it if you want. But we had another one from 2021 with a different design that sold from our website, I think, a couple weeks ago. I'm pointing this out because I just once again look at the artistic ability of what you can do with modern minting practices. And just, it's really a beautiful thing. And I had a number of discussions this weekend with both old collectors and new collectors. And so it just kind of got me thinking about what can be done. And a lot of cool stuff can be done with metal. And so it's pretty exciting. So for buying, I was able to buy some stuff. I'll have some different groups of things to show to you this week. I'll probably have a couple different videos on new purchases because I'll break them down into like different segments because I bought a whole group of Canadian coins. So we'll have to talk about that and show those off. I bought a whole group of world coins that are kind of like, sometimes what I deem like mid-century modern, kind of fun coins in high grade that are not that expensive. And then I bought a number of US type coins that everyone I think will really enjoy. I tried to find things I could that were at a price point that could still be resold, which is always a challenge, and that had a good look to them. When you go to a coin show, there's just thousands and thousands of coins there, and just trying to find the right things. From my perspective, there's plenty of great coins there, but I've got to be able to find a new home for it. So I've got to like the coin myself, and I've got to find something that, of course, they haven't priced to the moon, which, if you've ever been to a coin show, some guys really are astronauts. There are some coin dealers that are astronauts. Well, now would be a good time for me to take a drink. It's only water. And for you guys to chime in if you have any questions about anything. Also, a reminder that I will be at the Central States Show the first week in May. If you don't know, a Central States Numismatic Society, CSNS, that should be, I believe it's csns.org is their website. And I'm going to just check that really quick to make sure I'm actually giving you accurate information. The engineer would be very proud of me trying to give you accurate information. Central States Numismatic Society, csns.org. But I will be at that show next week. That is the first weekend, not next week, but in 14 days or whatever it is. It's the first weekend in May. It's a very, very large show with hundreds of dealers, and they opened up a new room with another 100 with a bunch more dealers. They have a new economy section. So it's something that I hope to see some of you at. And like I think I said previously, we'll see what I can bring with me if you guys don't buy everything out between now and then. I mean, I'm just gonna have proof sets to take with me. That's not gonna be any fun. Oh man, I'm laughing because we brought like a couple 100 pounds of wheat pennies with us to the show for a guy, and I'm very thankful that he bought it. So thank you. But I definitely didn't want to have to bring that back home. But I'm not going to bring stuff like that to Central States. I can't put it on the plane. Also, I did bring something else home that I'll have to show you later in some other video that is a little bit different. All right. All right, so what do you guys got going on today? I'm happy to see a mid-Monday morning live stream with you guys. This is a new time frame for me to hop in at. It's fun. I can see who's either retired or who watches YouTube at work, one of the two, or maybe both. Maybe you're retired watching YouTube while you're working at being retired. What's considered economy at the show? Okay, so SBA fan. So the economy section, Central States, I think, has very specific rules as to the value of coins that you can sell to be in the economy section as a dealer. So, that they probably have limitations. So this year at our Tucson Coin Show, we are going to open up an economy section, but it's going to be based on, it's going to be a cheaper table price, but it's going to have a few guidelines. The price point of the coins isn't actually the guideline. It's $100 less for the table. You get a lamp and 2 showcases, and it's going to be in the back of the room. Most conventions will have a cheaper section based on location, like where in the room you end up. My table number is 1617 at the Central States Show, 1617. It's a very good kind of pilgrish kind of year, so you can remember that. Not like, howdy pilgrim, but like the other kind of pilgrim. So I'm pretty sure I'm going to be by the concession stand in the bathroom. So this is a fantastic fit for me. So I hope some of you guys can find me there. So most shows consider an economy section based on location, but some of them based on the type of material bring with you. So you're like not allowed to sell any coins over a couple $100 to be in that section. I'm not as concerned about that for my coin show in Tucson in January. This has more to do with the fact that there's a lot of guys who are vest pocket dealers, who are coin club dealers. They're used to getting the like $50 to $75 tables to $100 tables. And so for them, $350 is a lot to spend on a table. So at $250, they might consider it. But, the difference between a local club show usually, like this show, the Albuquerque show is a big club show. But like our local club does really nice one-day shows. But really, it's almost like a 3 or 4 hour show. Whereas if you do a show that's a little bit more expansive, you're actually usually going to have at least 2 full days of a show plus a setup day. So, so it's like 3 times as much of the opportunity to sell stuff is really the idea there. So you're not only paying for your space, but you're paying for time as well. Space and time. There's all of our Final Frontiers in one comment. All right, so everyone else here is exchanging like love notes to each other on the chat. That's good. I thought Mark, I thought you were on spring break. You're on lunch break. I could use you slinging some wrenches for me, Mark. Where were you? I needed you this weekend, buddy. Jiminy crickets. So good. All right. Oh, hey, Rochelle, can I come visit? I live in Barbados. Enjoy your channel. Thank you. I've always wanted to come to the Caribbean or the Caribbean or both. I'll come to both. I'm not going to discriminate. That just sounds like a real fun place to be. Barbados has some of my favorite coins as growing up as a kid. I loved the coins with the just one side has a giant pineapple on it. This is the universal sign for a pineapple, apparently. So that is absolutely one of my favorite coins. Big copper coin, beautiful piece. I'm trying to remember what years those were made. 1806, I think. But anyways, those are maybe you'll know the coin. Maybe some of you will know the coin. All right, let me see here. What else we got going on here? We need a week-long show with bands, swimming, and barbecue. You're not wrong. You're not wrong. So there's this really interesting philosophy around coin shows. which is to say, like, do you just bring all takers to a coin show and like make it a big event, or does that upset the apple cart too much? If you have, say, instead of having 600 people come to the show, you have 1,600 people come to the show, but only 600 of them are like the people trying to buy, and then the other 1,000 people are kind of in their way and taking up the dealer's time. And so there's actually some really interesting philosophies around. I think the concept here is to make sure that you have the events that come with it not interrupt the actual business side of things for the consumer and for the dealer, because you have a limited amount of time as a consumer to come in and go through a show. You might only be there for a day, or even if you're at a huge show for 2 days, if it's not long. This show, I mean, with only 40 dealers, you could spend 2 days here still moving around the room a couple times, because you'll go by a table and you won't see everything. And you come by later and you're like, wait a second, was that here last time? You're like, yeah, of course it was. And secretly I just put it out there right now, but I tell them that. Makes them feel good. All right. What else is going on here? Tucson Coin Show website does not appear to be working. Thank you for that. You're correct. The Tucson Coin Show TucsonCoinShow.com is down for a refresh. I hope to have it back up in the next month or so. It's, websites and me, I don't do the website myself, and I've got good people who do the work for me on that. But we were revamping it. So thanks for pointing that out. But hopefully we'll have that up and running. I'm looking forward to it. Honestly, I'm going to have a lot of people who are at the show, dealer-wise, that weren't there last year come. We're going to have a really expansive, I think we're going to have 50% more dealers than we had last year. And it's an affordable trip. I mean, like I said, the room rates we're going to have is $119 a night, and I compare that with almost anywhere else I go. And by the way, it's $119 a night, and it's a nice facility. It's not $119 a night, and it's, I don't know who I want to slight. I don't want to slight anybody, but I have stories. All right, who else? We got more retired folks. Thank you for joining me, and we'll have to. I'll have to fly to Barbados because I can't really swim that well. So, but maybe we'll get there someday. How about this, guys? Let's host. Rochelle's gonna help me host a coin show in Barbados, right? Are any of you guys familiar with college basketball and how they all have these different, like, Bahamas and Caribbean over like Thanksgiving? There's like all of these tournaments, and so all the teams fly to like the Bahamas and they play in these tournaments. Let's do that with a coin show, shall we? Anyone else in? Just hit the like button if you're in on going to Barbados with us for a coin show. We just all bring our favorite 10 coins, and then we just have fun. I think that'd be cool. All right. Are you going to buy any gold coins there? So if the question, Duncan, is whether or not I'm going to be at the Central States Show buying gold and gold bullion, that's going to be there's probably going to be people there that are going to do a lot more with bullion than I would. I mean, guys who have a very regular stream of stuff that they do. I think that you'll definitely run into that over myself. So, but bring stuff with you. I'm always happy to look at stuff. It's no worries. I hope to see you there if you're going to be there. So, all right, what else is going on here? Stop by Rudy's Barbecue while you're there. They've got a Rudy's in Tucson now. I'm just saying, Tucson is moving up. All right. What else is going on? All right, we got a bunch of people that are going to Barbados. I'm excited about that. This is going to come together beautifully. I can tell already. I got people who are going to take my spot if I can't make it. That's fantastic. All right, Count, you do not want to see me in a bikini. Thank you. How has the Workingman Registry Sets changed the market for AU coins? So actually, this is a very good question. For those of you who don't know, there are registry sets that the grading companies have where you keep track of the coins you own and you get ranked. And nothing makes people more excited than being ranked. Like, I got to beat the guy in front of me kind of thing. And so the psychology here has really affected parts of the coin market. And so they started an everyman set, which instead of having the finest grade known, you're supposed to just get like an AU or an AU plus coin for each coin in the set or the series that you're doing. And then at that point, you know, you can really, so it's really, it has made coin prices go up on AU58 coins that are hard AU58 coins to get. So AU58 coins that have a lower population, guys are fighting for them so that they can get their set registered and come in first place. Now, at the end of the day, it's not like the other registry sets where someone can really fight for the finest known, because there might be certain coins that are only a pop of one. So for example, I happen to know, as of this video, that PCGS, a 1926 peace dollar, there's only one graded MS67, just one. So only one guy gets that coin, and his set's going to be the best set, assuming, right? All right, so you're going to need a security consultant in Barbados. I think I know a guy. We'll figure that out. Fella on Reddit grabbed an 1838 1 cent nice condition at Sale UK for $30. Nice looking, hard to determine online the condition. Would you recommend PCGS over NGC? Thank you, Bob. So I do not have favorites necessarily with PCGS over NGC on pretty much, especially any coin that's like under a couple grand, whichever service you prefer. So like some people only want one or only want the other, and some people don't discriminate. For a large cent, I think that either company is going to be just fine for you. You know, I think the discrepancy comes once again because of registry sets. You see a bifurcation in price points on high-end coins, high-end graded coins, because there are certain guys that they're like, I'm only going to go for this coin for PCGS because I only buy PCGS. So they've eliminated half of the field, and they're only going to buy from, you know, this half of the field. Thanks for the question. All right. Retired and watching. That's good. I'm just drinking water today. Thank you. Here we go. I don't want Jack to do with a registry as I spend enough money already. That's funny, George. Yeah, I mean, it's easy enough to spend money without a registry set. I don't do any registry set stuff. You know, I understand it and I get it and I'm not mad at it. Also, I tell people, have the freedom to collect what you want to collect and buy what you want to buy. Like, don't let someone tell you, well, you have a 65 and I have a 66, and therefore, you know. So just enjoy the coins that you purchase. Enjoy every coin that you purchase. So we had a couple of proof V-nickels offered to us, and one was graded proof 65 and one was proof 65 plus. And me and Jamie, who's with me, was like, we both looked at the coins and we both liked the 65 over the 65 plus. You know, just enjoy what you buy. Have fun with it. All right. Better than the CAC snobs. Oh boy, here we go. Like, the hard part is I'm about to be in Chicagoland, and apparently there's more than one baseball team there, and I can get in trouble if I don't promote the right guy at the right time. So I got to have a jersey that's like half one and half the other and just show half of it off. I don't want to get beat up. Not that people get beat up in Chicago. I bought some coins on eBay. What do we do here? So the deal is bring the best 10 coins. Is there a lower roller section? We're going to have fun. I don't know if we're going to have that much fun. I might be 75 by the time we get to the Barbados, but you're all welcome to come with me. All right. Oh, he's in Europe. Oh, I didn't follow up on that penny question. I thought he bought it, and he bought it from a UK auction, and it's in the US. I think they both have grading companies. I don't know if you can tell if a coin's been graded in Europe or in America. Like, did the PCGS Europe slabs, are they different? Do they have like a little thing on there that you know? I would really be curious to know if you can tell if a coin has been graded at PCGS Europe instead of PCGS California. All right. Very cool. All right. Love your channel. Would love to buy a nice graded Morgan dollar from you soon. Greetings from the Netherlands. Oh, man. That is awesome. Thank you for joining from the Netherlands. So past the Dutchie on the left-hand side, we've got both Barbados and the Netherlands. I'm trying to get the whole globe here. Where are my Aussies at? Come on, y'all. We got to get the whole globe covered. That'd be cool. So I do have a really nice... I bought one of the nicest looking, most common date Morgans that I've had in a long time. That'll be popping up this week on the new purchases video that hopefully will go out tomorrow. Hopefully. There's been a whole lot of hopefully going on with my Albuquerque trip, as I think one of you guys mentioned here. Okay, can you look at a true view photo and determine if you can get a green bean? No. So true view photos, sometimes I call them bar view photos, like the photos are too good. They make every coin look amazing, and it's just not really a fair reference to what a coin should look like. I actually think that it's relatively unfair the way that they process the photos, because you can't... It's not a true view. It's like you know, one of those oxymorons. You know, there's no way. And by the way, I've had plenty of coins that I've sent in for CAC stickering that I thought should get a sticker hands down, and wah, wah, you know, there was just, it didn't happen. So, and I've had other coins I wasn't sure would sticker, and they did. So, you know, I think that generally speaking, if you're going to play the stickering game, you just send it in and you hope for the best. But also, just keep in mind, I think that CAC very much so favors originality. So you can see a coin that it has elements that are very original to the look that might not be as high of eye appeal as some other coins, and yet it'll get a sticker because of the originality. And so what I'm seeing is lots of coins that are like in old rattlers and stuff that have some problems on them. And so people think they're an old rattler, so they're going to get a CAC sticker, and then they don't. And it's like, well, there's more going on there, and you know, sometimes it could be an old cleaning, but usually it's more likely to be some PVC or something. So, you know, anyway, let's see what else we got going here. I have a small collection of silver coins, none from the USA. That's okay by me. I like all that stuff. It's good stuff. All right, what else we got going on here? Is one grading company's conservation service better than the other? So I think had better luck with NGC's conservation over PCGS's. We've used both of them a few times, and I will say that I think the overall feel has been that we've got a little bit better results from NGC. You know, I don't know if there's been other videos out there that people have done comparing the two, but my preference for that has been NGC, because I think that they've done a better job at the stuff that we've sent in. Let's see here, what else? Yesterday I bought some OPC coins on eBay, did not see them on your site. So the difference between our site and our eBay page, there are certain things that we will put on our eBay page that will not end up on our website oftentimes. So first of all, anything that's going to be an auction format. So we are trying to every week kind of throw up some one set auctions on like raw US coins, maybe some odd sets, those weird things that you get in the mail sometimes, or just whatever. And occasionally we'll put stuff up. So if it's going to be an auction, it's going to go on eBay. And there's some other stuff that doesn't format as well on our website that we put on eBay. So if you have some odd collectible items, they don't usually go on our website. But most numismatic items end up on our website. So anyways, that's that. But the eBay stuff is kind of fun. I am trying to get our crew to throw more items up there that are one set auction, no reserve, just so people come back every week and just have fun bidding on raw coins. Sometimes there'll be better dates. Sometimes there'll be things that I think would straight grade, but they're not worth getting graded. Sometimes there'll be lightly problem coins, light cleanings. But in the listing, it'll say, light cleaning or something along those lines. So we try to make sure that's up there. And thank you, Jeff, for the purchase. I appreciate that. All right. What else we got going on here? Okay, so Scandinavian Stacker says PCGS Europe sends them to the U.S. See, I thought that was the case, but I wasn't sure, and maybe our Scandinavian friend here knows for sure. They are taking coins, submissions, and then on a weekly basis shipping them all to California. They grade them and then they ship them all back to Europe. Maybe China does the same thing. I mean, I know PCGS is in China. PCGS has a place in China now. So I think it's interesting to me because it would be like, I guess it's just easier to ship things around than to get them in, than to reproduce an entire grading company in another continent. I don't know. Could be wrong. All right. Hi from Belgium with a wink. I'm not sure if that person's really in Belgium. Just North Carolina will golly. That's not really a North Carolina thing, but I just felt like saying it. North Carolina in the house. We're going to get all 50 states for sure. I like the Gilmore Shots reference there. Geni Experts is 100% European grading service. Oh, okay. We're going to talk about grading services in other countries later this week. What else is going on here? I want to bid on the 1900. Oh, lucky Casino Morgan. Oh, those Casino Morgans. We did a video on stickered Morgans, and it was very interesting to see how those all turned out. We had a really nice time with that. I was really intrigued. Some of them really popped, and the ones that I thought might do good didn't. Like the one that said Coca-Cola on it. I assume there's a lot of Coca-Cola collectors that would be good, but it was not. Once AI grading takes over, subjectivity will all but disappear. This, my friend, is where we would disagree, but that's okay. I'm not arguing against using AI for an assisted tool, but they're coins. They're subjective. They'll always be subjective, and to me, that's the beauty of it. I think the difficulty is that when we went to a numerical system, we tried to make things linear, and it's not linear. So if you follow me philosophically, I think you'll understand what I'm getting at, which is to say coin grading verbally, when it was just called fine, extra fine, before it became numeric, it was a lot better, a lot easier to understand because everyone knew that it was subjective. Now we have convinced ourselves that it is not subjective. This to me is the problem. It will always be, we've lost the war if we think that it's not supposed to be subjective. You know, if you think that it's supposed to be, you know, this is how it is 100% of the time, you know, because that's not really a thing. Because if you can look at two coins that have the same grade, they will always be two different coins. And of course, I'm eliminating modern coins, right? Like things that are hot off the presses. So what I'm talking about is your older collector coins. They will never be the same. And so that's why I prefer kind of what they do with NGC Ancients, where you have a more simplified numbering system, but you also are talking about the attributes of the coin. Like I find that to be a much more appealing, to me a much more appealing way to view coins, even a healthier way to view coins. Now, is that what the coin market is? No. Do I live in La La Land? Yes. The fantasy world that is the Coin Geeks is its own place. Okay, thanks for joining me. But also, you understand, I think maybe what I'm getting at here, which is to say, yes, we use grading. Yes, it's a certification system that's flawed. And yes, I prefer not using it. But yes, I'm going to educate people on what the system is that we have that we use. Right? It's kind of like teaching somebody about baseball rules or basketball rules and then explaining to them, this is a dumb rule. It is stupid that you can call a timeout and get the ball at half court, but that's what the rule is. Why would you give the offense a chance and punish the defense of the team that just scored? Really idiotic, right? But it's the rule. Thank you. That was a rant. My goodness. Am I allowed to rant here? So much fun. Thank you for the comment, though. I really enjoy talking about that type of stuff. All right, Austin, Texas. Yeehaw, let's go. Colorado here. Hey, y'all. The Broke Stacker. That has got to be like, that's a fun name. I like that. What'll it take to prove my Belgianness to you? See, this is where, as a stupid American, not all Americans are stupid, just me. I would come back with either a chocolate or a waffle reference. Maybe you can spit out something a little bit fancier than that for me. All right, Stillwater, New Jersey. Hey, I think he's probably near that CAC place, right? We got Michigan. Let's see what else we got. Everyone checking in from all over the country. This is fun. Everyone say hi to Donald. I just got to let everyone know that at this show I get to meet Donald. You know, Donald in New Mexico comes to Albuquerque show and says hi. So if you guys want to see the YouTube OG, you're going to have to come. Really, we should have a meet and greet with Donald in Albuquerque next spring. That's what we're going for. Oh, man. Let's see here. All right. Let me see. It's hot and beautiful outside, but the monkeys are on your homes, on the roofs, and the trees are beautiful. Well, I'm still going to Barbados, I think. I guess I got to convince my wife. I wouldn't be going without her, so there we go. It appears that NGCX isn't making an impact in the market. What do you think, Ben? So NGCX was, I'm not 100% all the genesis of NGCX. I don't think they launched it correctly from what I can tell. So NGCX is basically where they tried to change the numbering system from 1 to 70 to 1 to 10. They tried to use the comic grading scale. So MS69 would be a 9.9. I'm not against change, generally speaking, like I said, but I would probably change back to the verbal description of coins over the numeric. Like I think that you could use a 10-point scale, or which is really a 100-point scale. So you could just call it a 100-point scale for modern coins that are hot off the presses, certified. Data analyze this stuff all day if you want to. Scan it, boom, boom. You tell me how many spots there are. Get it to the micro level. I don't care. Yeah, I think that'd be cool. I'm all in favor of having a separate grading point scale for modern coins versus coins that had circulation. I think that'd be fine. So NGCX was in large part launched with Vaultbox. They put out an entire series of coins that had mostly just the modern coins. Then they tried some of the more traditional collector coins, and that didn't work. You know, so I don't think that's going over at all. So, all right, let's see here. If someone calls me about my vehicle being ready, I'm just gonna run out the door, just so y'all know. This is like, that's what happens when you go live. Oh man, give me 1 second. Okay, we're back. I'm just worried that I'm gonna get locked out of something right now. All right, here we go. What's the difference between Ancients graded with a number system and then the usual EF good, etc.? I noticed both with NGC. So I haven't seen, NGC Ancients, I don't believe that I've seen them use any type of a numbering system on their coins. George, you can correct me on that. I think it's all been numeric. I mean, it's all been verbal. So it'll be the good, fine, extra fine type stuff. And then the numeric portion is actually only on their strike and surface quality, 4 out of 5, 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5, 2 out of 5, that type of thing. All right, I am going to start wrapping up here so we can get on the road here pretty soon. Let's see here. What else we got going on here? I wanted to see how many basketball players I've offended with my take on basketball rules, but apparently nobody bid on that. All right. I am not going down the "Are Proof Eagles just bullion" commentary. That's its own video. I commented that the other day. We had a back and forth with a guy. The boxes say bullion on them. The Proof Eagles say bullion on them. The market has varied a lot. See, I said I wasn't going to talk about it, and here I go. So, historically, the Proof Gold Eagles have traded very close to gold. And then during COVID, they actually shot really up and high in price, and then they've come back down. That's, a lot of it depends on how you define bullion, right? So, all right. Proof of my Belgianness, my hometown has both a chocolate museum and a French fry museum. I just want to say that after we are in Barbados, I am going to Belgium, like 100%. I think we're going to go on like a world tour of coin collecting and food eating. That's the thing. All right, I would love that job. Or do you think they could improve the NGC Ancients grading? I've been generally happy with NGC Ancient grading. There's some few things that I would probably, I mean, I've been pretty happy. I'll have to clip that comment out and think about it a little bit. I'm not going to be at the Tulsa show. Thanks for invitations to shows, by the way. I'm pretty limited as to how many shows I can make in any given calendar year. So I would like to try to maybe once a year coming up, try a new show here and there. Let me see here. All right, what else we got going on? Denver's next show I won't be at. So the Denver show is also twice a year. So this Albuquerque show is twice a year. Denver's twice a year. Vegas is 3 times a year. And all of those shows, I try to make it to one of them. I'm not sure if I'm going to make it to Vegas in July. They moved the date. It used to be in August. Now it's in July. And I've got some stuff going on that weekend, so I'm not sure I can make it. Denver in May I do not go to. I usually go to Denver in October. Also, Denver in October last year I was at, but also had a conflict. And so this year, if that conflict exists, I will not be there. But I hope to be there because I really enjoy the Denver show. Last Denver show in October was the first show that I went to that was a 3-day show where we were busy basically 9 to 5 the entire time. And not just us, like the room was busy the entire time. Denver is another place that has a very good active coin club. Here's a hint, guys. Good active coin clubs helps build good coin community, helps build everything, right? So if you've got a coin club in your area and you can be an active member, get into it. Yes, I'm a hypocrite. Now also, if you have a good active, if you don't have a good active club, try to get one going, make it happen. All right. Whew. All right. I'm going to have to wind down here. I'm getting all wound up instead of wound down. All right. Ben, on your way out of town, stop at the Durham Central Pharmacy in Central Avenue. I'm getting tips on where to eat. This is fantastic. All right. All right. Why don't you guys go to Ben's show? I'll be at Ben's show. That'll be good. Also, everyone should come to the show in January. It's a good time. It's honestly turning into one of the nicest regional shows, I think. And I know that it's my show that I produced with the help of a lot of people. And but also I honestly think like the feedback that we got this weekend from guys who were at the show, who happened to be at this show also, they were at the Tucson show and the show. I had a whole bunch of new contracts that I handed out to dealers, like here applications, because they asked for them. And so that's a good sign, right? All right, so I'm enough with the jibba jabber. I thank you all guys so much. I hope to see you in January in person at the Central States next week. I'm about 65% sure I'll be at Long Beach in June. There's like a 17% chance that I'll be at Baltimore the week after Long Beach. I'm giving myself a 38% chance of being in Vegas. Once I get into the fall, I have no idea because my schedule's not set because I got family stuff to figure out first. So with all that, I bid y'all adieu. Thank you for hanging out, by the way, guys. So awesome. And thanks for everyone for having a good time here. And keep the peace, keep the love, guys. And safe travels to everyone out there. And I'm going to go buy me some AAA.